Okay. Here we're going to solve this equation. Well, not normally, you could use distributive property, 3/4 times 2x, 3/4 times 6. But here we're going to do something a little bit different. I'll show you a different method here. It helps you kind of avoid fractions if you don't like fractions. All right, what I'm going to do is multiply both sides of the equation by 4. That is going to eliminate the denominator of this fraction. So when I multiply this whole thing by 4, I simply end up with 3 2x plus 6 over here. On the other side, I just have to multiply everything by 4. So let's see, 9 times 4 is 36, so 36x, minus 33 times 4. 30 times 4 is 120 and 12, so 132. So now, we'll just distribute. So that's 3 times 2 is 6x plus 18. And over here, nothing's changed. Now, I want to get my x term, or I want to get my x all by itself. But in order to do that, I first have to get my x term all by itself. And I can't do that so long as I have 2 x terms. So I'm going to eliminate one of them by subtracting it. So I'm going to pick the smaller one. So I'm going to take away 6x from each side. So if I take away 6x, that's going to leave me with 18 over here. 36x, take away 6x is just 30x minus 132. Now I want to get the x by itself, which means I need to get the x term by itself. I'm getting closer because I only have one x term, but I still have this negative 132 hanging out here, so I need to get rid of that. So I'm going to add 132 to each side. And so over here, let's see, 18 plus 132 gives me 150. So over here, 18 plus 132 is 150. I still have my 30x over here, and of course, when I add 132, it cancels out the negative 132. And finally, we just have to divide by 30 on both sides, and we get 5 equals x. So remember, we started out this, we wanted to get rid of this fraction, so we multiplied everything by the denominator of the fraction. So multiplying this by 4 turns 3/4. If you look over here, 3/4 times 4 is like multiplying by 4 over 1, and these just kind of cancel. Or 3/4 times 4 over 1, if I actually multiply them, I get 12/4, which simplifies to 3. So multiplying by the denominator of the fraction makes the fraction go away. Then, once I just had an equation like this, I had to use distributive property over here to open up these parentheses. And once I was done with that, I had an equation like this here. And I wanted to have just one x term, so I eliminated the 6x term by subtracting 6x from both sides. That left me with 30x over here, and I still had my 18 and my negative 132. So now I only have one x term, but I've got this negative 132 hanging out over here. I don't want that, so I had to add 132 to each side. That gave me 150 over here. I still have my 30x over here, so then I just divide by 30 on both sides to get 5. And that's how we solve an equation involving parentheses and a fraction on the outside.